The Greek gods. Hermes. Young gods were often precious, but no one so much as Hermes, who, 5 minutes after his birth, sneaked out of his crib and went searching for adventure. He toddled swiftly down the slopes of Mount Celion until he came to a meadow where he saw a herd of beautiful white cows grazing. He saw no cowherd and decided to steal them. A tree full of crows began to seethe and whistle. "They belong to Apollo, Apollo," but he paid them no heed. He plaited grass into shoes for the cows and fitted them over their hooves and drove them away. When Apollo returned, he was furious to see his cows gone, and even more furious when he searched for tracks and found none, only odd sweeping marks on the ground. The crows chattered, "A baby stole them! Your brother! Your brother!" But this made no sense to Apollo. Besides, he did not trust crows. He did not know where to begin looking, and he searched far and wide, but could find no clue. Then one morning he passed a cave he had passed 100 times before, but this time he heard strange, beautiful sounds coming out of it. Sounds unlike anything he had ever heard before, and he looked inside. There, drowsing by the fire, was a tall, lovely Titaness named Maia, whom he had seen before in the garden on Olympus, and sitting in her lap was a little baby boy doing something to a large tortoise shell from which the strange sound seemed to be coming. "Good day, cousin," said Apollo. "Are you to be congratulated on a new son?" "Hail, bright Phoebus," said Maia. "May I have the honor of presenting your half-brother, young Hermes." "Half-brother, eh? Well, that's an honor without being a distinction. What's that he's playing with?" "Oh, he makes his own toys," said Maia proudly. "He's so clever, you can't imagine. He made this out of an old shell that he strung with cow gut, and from it he draws the most ravishing sounds. Listen." "Cow guts? May I ask what cow he persuaded to contribute her vital cords for his pastime?" "Oh, I do not understand your question, cousin." "Understand this, cousin. I have had a herd of cows stolen recently. The cows told me they had been taken by some baby, my brother, but I didn't believe them. I seem to owe them an apology." "What?" cried Maia. "Are you accusing this innocent babe of being a cattle thief? For shame!" "Mother, if you don't mind," said a clear little voice, "perhaps you'd better let me handle this." The baby stood on his mother's knee and bowed to Apollo. "I did take your cows, brother, but I didn't know they were yours. How could I have? And they are quite safe, except for one. Wishing to begin my life with an act of pity, I sacrificed her to the 12 gods. "12 gods," said Apollo haughtily. "I am acquainted with but 11. "Yes, sir," said Hermes, "but I have the honor to be the 12th. Above all things, I wish your goodwill, fair brother, so in return for this cow, allow me to make you a present. This instrument, I call it a lyre. I'll be glad to teach you to play." Apollo was enchanted with the trade. He stayed in the cave all that afternoon, practicing his scales, and as he was strumming his new toy, he noticed Hermes cutting reeds, which the child swiftly tied together, notched in a certain way, and then put it to his lips and began to make other sounds, even more beautiful than the lyre could produce. "What's that?" cried Apollo. "What do you call that? I want that too." "Oh, I don't need any more cows," said Hermes. "I must have it. What else of mine do you wish?" "Well, your golden staff." "But this is my herdsman's staff. Do you know that I am the god of herdsmen, and that this is the rod of authority?" "Oh, a minor offense," said Hermes, "unworthy of the Lord of the Sun. Perhaps you would allow me to take over the chores. Chore. Give me your golden staff, and I will give you these pipes." "Agreed, agreed. But since pipes and lyres together will make you god of music, I must have something to boot. Teach me augury." "You drive a hard bargain for a nursling," said Apollo. "I think you belong on Olympus, brother. This cave will not long offer scopes for your talents." "Oh, yes, take me there," cried Hermes. "I am eager to meet Father Zeus." So Apollo took Hermes to Olympus and introduced him to his father Zeus, was intrigued by the wit and impudence of the child. He hid him away from Hera and spent hours conversing with him. "You say you wish to enter the Pantheon," said Zeus. But really all the realm and powers seem to have been parceled out. Father, I am of a modest nature, said Hermes. I require no vast dignities, only a chance to be useful to serve you and to dwell in your benign and potent presence. Let me be your herald. Let me carry your tidings. You will find me quick and resourceful, and what I can't remember I will make up, and I guarantee your subjects will get the message. Very well, said Zeus. I will give you a trial. So Hermes became the messenger god, and accomplishing his duties with such swiftness, ingenuity, and cheerfulness that he became a favorite of his father, who soon rewarded him with other posts. Hermes became the patron of liars and the thieves and gamblers, god of commerce, the framer of treaties, and the guardian of travelers. Hades became his client too, and called upon him to usher the newly dead from earth to Tartarus. He kept a workshop on Olympus, and there invented the alphabet, astronomy, and the scales, also playing cards and card games. He carried Apollo's golden staff decorated with white ribbons, wore a pot-shaped hat, and winged sandals which carried him through the air more swiftly than birds could fly. It was he who gave Zeus the idea of disguising himself and mingling with mortals when bored with Olympus. He joined his father in this, and they had many adventures together, which will be told in their place. And that is the end of the story of Hermes.